Greetings, Digimon folks. Today's topic features Culumon, a mascot-like figure of the Digimon franchise. Without further ado, let's get to know this one of the cutest Digimon ever. First of all, Culumon's name comes from kuru, the suffix of carbarn kuru, the Japanese pronunciation of carbuncle, an elusive mythical critter with a glowing gemstone or mirror embedded in its forehead that originates in South American folklore and is associated with gemstones and mining traditions in Chile and Paraguay, with related beliefs also found in Argentina and Brazil. Fun fact, Culumon was originally named Culumon, according to an early planning draft for the Digimon Tamers anime, but due to copyright acquisition issues and other circumstances, the name was changed to the current Culumon. And so, Culumon is inspired by Carbuncle. It is worth mentioning that there is also another Digimon based on Carbuncle, which is Gemmon, a mysterious Digimon also with a distinctive white appearance and a gemstone on its forehead, which will debut in the Digimon Elysian game, an upcoming mobile game centering on the Digimon card game. Interestingly, both the Carbuncle-based Culumon and Gemmon are associated with the theme of evolution. Culumon embodies the light of evolution in the digital world, while Gemmon can evolve into 7 intended forms representing the 7 Digimon card game card colors and the corresponding gemstones: red ruby, blue lapis lazuli, yellow amber, green emerald, purple amethyst, black obsidian, and white jewel, though this will be a topic for another day when more information becomes available. Culumon is a unique Digimon with an unknown level, attribute, and type, according to the official Digidex, the Digimon reference book. Yet, other sources identify Culumon as a Baby 2 level Holy Beast type Digimon, as indicated by its anime design sketch and character information in Digimon series memorial book, Digimon Animation Chronicle, while the Toei animation website's Digimon Tamers character list classifies it as a child-level Digimon. According to Culumon's flavor text on its cards in the digital monster card game, Hyper Coliseum, BO 722's, this holy fairy grants wishes and administers evolution, and BO 15J's, a holy beam of light, an electric fairy who is the key to evolution. It is thought that Culumon could also be considered a vaccine or data attribute fairy-type Digimon, if it were assigned an attribute and type. Regardless, Culumon's lack of a level, attribute, and type makes it obvious that it is not an ordinary Digimon. Look-wise, Culumon's appearance draws on the critter-like aspects of its basis, the carbuncle. Culumon appears to be a small, cute creature with a predominantly white color scheme accented by purple. It has a relatively large head with big green eyes, but a small body and limbs. It has expressive, wing-like white ears, tipped in purple, that can dramatically extend or change size based on its mood, and even help it glide or fly. Its forehead bears the red 0 unit, a mysterious symbol consisting of one larger triangle surrounded by 3 smaller triangles, which is a shape often identified with Keter of the Sphirot in Judaism. In the Jewish Kabbalistic tree of life, there are 10 Sphirot, literally enumerations, which are the 10 spiritual attributes or emanations through which the infinite God, Ein Sof, reveals himself, creates, and sustains the universe. The Keter, literally meaning crown, is the first and highest of the 10 Sphirot, representing pure potential, divine will, and the blinding, hidden light of creation beyond human thought, making it rather relevant to Culumon for being the embodiment of the light of evolution. The 0 unit is also referred to as the Culu mark in certain control art for the Digimon Tamers anime. Culumon's 0 unit acts as the catalytic source of evolution, shining whenever a Digimon evolves in its presence or when Culumon activates its evolutionary skill to evolve nearby Digimon. This 0 unit can manifest as the gem-like crystal matrix, which allows Culumon to channel evolutionary energy to greater levels and evolve Digimon to higher stages. Lore-wise, Culumon is a small Digimon shrouded in mystery that is unable to evolve or attack, unlike other Digimon. In spite of that, Culumon is innocent, inquisitive, optimistic, and above all else, cheerful. As it is friendly and playful, it will pop up out of nowhere as long as there is fun to be had. It speaks in a unique way, habitually adding Culu to the end of every sentence. Rumor has it that Culumon possesses the ability to help other Digimon evolve, but this is not really a rumor, as Culumon truly possesses a unique evolutionary power that can induce evolution in Digimon. Culumon's power occasionally manifests as randomly evolving nearby Digimon when it is excited, but it can also be intentionally channeled through its zero unit or crystal matrix when the necessary evolution conditions and circumstances are met. Although it is said that Culumon is unable to attack, it still has an attack technique called Keter Flare, in which Culumon attacks using light emitted from its zero unit. It has a signature move called Shining Evolution that releases the light of evolution, enabling every Digimon in the digital world to reach its full potential by evolving to the final stage ultimate level. It also has the special moves Culumon's Prayer, which restores status and raises all allies' resistances through prayer, and Culumon's Wish, whose effect is unknown but likely involves granting wishes. While Culumon is unable to evolve itself, it can access the power and partial form of what appears to be a grown-up form of Culumon when it uses Shining Evolution. The grown-up form's translucent, luminescent, graceful physique brings to mind a goddess-like figure and reminiscent of the Cleon Sea Angel. The grown-up form seems to be a slender, ethereal humanoid with pale, softly glowing skin, small horns, green eyes, long flowing feathery wing like ears and arms, all covered in light of dreamy gradients of pink, blue, green, yellow, and purple, with matching feathery tufts at the feet and a small, red, diamond-shaped ornament, the crystal matrix, floating atop the head. This form is presumed to be called the Digi-Entelecheia, which is the name originally also referred to as a program data, but is still relevant here since the form is said to be revived and separated from Culumon. Culumon is the physical incarnation of a program data called the Digi-Entelecheia. Culumon is the Digi-Entelecheia given a Digimon form. The term Digi-Entelecheia derives from Digi, a common short form or prefix for digital, which refers to something using discrete digits, often binary digits, and Entelecheia, an ancient Greek philosophical term meaning the complete realization, fulfillment, or actualization of a potential. The Digi-Entelecheia is originally a mythical power, a shining force, the light of evolution that governs over the evolution of Digimon. It is the core catalyst for evolution in the digital world, particularly as program data that acts as an accelerator for evolution, which lies deep within the digital world. So far, everything discussed about Culumon remains relevant within the reach of the Digimon null canon, the original Digimon worldview, to which Digimon profiles and settings refer, and which serves as the meta-context and foundational framework for other Digimon series, with some exceptions to some elements of Culumon that have yet to be explicitly incorporated into the null canon, such as the concept of the Digi-Entelecheia. Anyway, in order to understand Culumon's lore better, there is a need to depart from the original universe of the Digimon null canon into the alternate universe of the Digimon Tamers anime. Let's delve deeper into Culumon's backstory in the Digimon Tamers anime, where it debuted. Culumon is a significant supporting character in the Digimon Tamers anime, and also appears in several movies, manga, and video games set within the Digimon Tamers continuity. According to the original concept, in the early planning draft, Culumon is a Digimon that possesses catalytic potential, capable of rapidly driving other Digimon to evolve to powerful levels, is presumed to be an extremely specialized kind of software accelerator, and whose very origin is different from those of other Digimon. In the finalized character setting, Culumon is established as originally being program data known as Digi-Entelecheia, a term inspired by Aristotle's concept of entelechy or entelecheia, which describes a state in which something has fully realized its potential and achieved its purpose, and is also frequently cited in AI, artificial intelligence, research, making it rather relevant to the AI-related setting of the Digimon Tamers anime. In the universe of the Digimon Tamers anime, by the 2000s, the computer network had expanded exponentially, creating a huge influx of data into the digital world, which the Digimon used to evolve and change. Xinglongmon, one of the four holy beasts who is revered as a god of the digital world, sensed that the exponential evolution of Digimon could reawaken the D-Reaper, a digital life form originating from a primitive program created before Digimon existed whose sole purpose was to purge the digital world once its population exceeded a certain threshold. A task it once carried out with deadly efficiency before deactivating itself upon completion. Therefore, Culumon, with the help of the Diginomes, a digital life form that evolved from the same digital world data that Digimon did and has the power to grant wishes in the digital world and the real world, transformed the Digi-Entelecheia program data into the form of a Digimon, Culumon, sealing the light of evolution within Culumon in the process in order to protect it. Though this greatly slowed the growth and evolution of Digimon, it was not enough to stave off the D-Reaper, which soon reactivated. At the time, though, it was still manageable by the four holy beasts. Culumon eventually decided to let Culumon loose in the real world to keep it safe from the D-Reaper. There, Culumon unconsciously recognized human life, the real world, its language and customs, to some extent, as if these were intrinsic things Culumon was born with, though it still took some time for Culumon to adapt to them. Even without a child to become its partner, Culumon often wanders around on its own, looking for things to enjoy itself. If Culumon is incorporated or loaded by a Digimon as data, it will come to possess tremendous potential, causing the Digimon that incorporates it to undergo a classless evolution. Culumon unconsciously recognizes this aspect of its own existence, which is perhaps the reason Culumon refuses to have a partner. Still, in the real world, Culumon ended up making friends with the Tamers and their partner Digimon there. The D-Reaper eventually returned en masse, prompting the four holy beasts to get Culumon back to the digital world and inform it of the truth about its origin. The four holy beasts exhort Culumon, as the Digi-Entelecheia, to once again release its light of evolution for the sake of the Digimon in the digital world to defeat the D-Reaper. With the energy endowed by the Diginomes sacrificing themselves en masse, Culumon was able to access the power of the Digi-Entelecheia once again and perform Shining Evolution, releasing the light of evolution and evolving the Digimon across the digital world into their ultimate level forms. In gratitude, the four holy beasts granted Culumon's only request, to continue living as a Digimon alongside its friends. In the end, during the decisive battle, the D-Reaper was reverted into a harmless program and sent back to the digital world by a large-scale Shagai, an executable program that opened a portal between the real world and the digital world, sending any nearby Digimon back to where they came from. The side effects of the large-scale Shagai make it impossible for the Digimon to remain in the real world, and after a tearful farewell, Culumon returned to the digital world with the others. Yet, in the Digimon Tamers The Runaway Digimon Express movie, Culumon returned to the real world with the other Digimon. But this movie is considered to be a parallel timeline that did not happen in the main timeline of the Digimon Tamers anime, written by Kanaka Chiaki, the head writer of the Digimon Tamers anime. As the other sequel, Digimon Tamers 2018 drama CD, Days Information and the Unordinary, also written by Kanaka, states that the Tamers and their Digimon have not seen each other ever since the D-Reaper incident, until now in the story of the audio drama. In any case, Culumon is considered a mascot-like figure of the Digimon franchise, alongside Agumon, continuing to appear in many Digimon media, including movies such as Digimon Savers 3D The Digital World in Imminent Danger, where Culumon joins the main cast on their journey through the digital world and ultimately uses its power to help them defeat an encountered Armageddon, as well as games such as Digimon Tamers Pocket Culumon, a 2001 PS PlayStation game centered on raising Culumon as a virtual pet, Digimon Tamers Battle Evolution, another 2001 PS game, in which Culumon serves as the host and guide for the character and arena selection screens, Digimon Story Lost Evolution, a 2010 Nintendo DS game, where Culumon manages the evolution system, and Digimon Fortune, a 2013 PC personal computer game, where Culumon serves as the mascot. But since then, Culumon has made no significant appearances in Digimon media, not even in the sequel, the Digimon Tamers 2018 audio drama, although it has appeared in the Digimon Tamers 2021 live reading drama, reprising its role of invoking evolution. To conclude, let's hope Culumon returns someday in another significant role. And that is all for this time. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, adios.